I'm trolling. I'm trolling. Y'all hear me? No, I'm trolling. I'm trolling. I'm trolling. I'm trolling. I just wanted to see if I can get that off.
Si pues es lucha libre.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wrestle Pierce Raw Review. I'm your host, Ibu of Wrestle Pierce, better known to many of you guys as Backup Hangman. And I'm joined by the usual team. The recently returned Jana, who's here with us. She got the glasses on. She's looking like a librarian. And we got Rob of the C Nation here, locked in, tapped in. We're going to talk about last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, the fallout to Bash in Berlin, a couple new angles set, new challengers. Gunther has a new challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk wanted to move on, but he's dragged back in with Drew McIntyre. And it looks like they're going to head towards a clash at Bad Blood and likely a Hell in the Cell match. New contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championships, a new commentator in Joe Tessitore, and so much more. Matches set for next week's Raw season premiere, so on and so forth. So a lot to get into from that standpoint. I got a couple news and notes for you guys regarding some of the upcoming shows and plans for that. So guys, make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and send us super chats. Give us your feedback on Monday Night Raw. Give us your thoughts on what you think is going to happen going forward. What are your thoughts on the show? Some of the directions, any theories, things of that nature. Because again, there's a lot happening right now, a lot of moving parts with all the three brands. So give us your feedback. We'd love to read it. We'd love to answer your questions. I will answer any question that I can answer. And beyond that, we're just going to hang out for the next little bit here. And hope you guys enjoy the show. Make sure to like the video. Like I said, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and send us super chats. It's how we pay our bills. Jana, how are you doing today? Welcome back. It's week 2. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. You know, that librarian comment, didn't need it. Lifted up my glasses. Like,
No, it looked good. You look good with glasses. I didn't. It wasn't a dick. It's like librarians, don't you know?
I'm good though. You know, another good episode of Raw. So I'm excited. Whatever.
Yo,
What's up, Rob?
yeah, yesterday was an episode of Monday Night Raw. It wasn't bad. I actually really liked it.
Yeah, it was a good show.
It wasn't like great like the shows that we've seen within the last month or so, but it was still good.
You know who we were missing, Rob? We were missing Big Bronson.
Mr. Ben Bronson Reed. Shout out Bronson Reed. A guy that's really turned my opinion around on him. Speedy recovery from COVID, but other than that, it was a very good show. We finally, Ibu, Dragon Lee has been discovered. He has finally been found.
Yeah, there was an APB out for him. You couldn't find him with a search warrant. You couldn't find him with a magnifying glass with a detective crew. That guy was missing. I don't know what was going on with Mr. Dragon Lee, but he is back and he's in full effect. He is wrestling. We had an ISO last night because they said clear up, hold on, one-on-one. Dominic, get the fuck out the way. And it was just Dragon Lee and Ilya Dragunov throwing that ball and just getting filthy on it.
I feel like that was Triple H. I feel like that was Triple H being like, "Yo, I could do this on this show if I really wanted to, right? Like I could just really give you this match."
He was 100% throwing Twitter a bone. He was just like, "Y'all, get on my dick, guys. All right, fine." And I'll tell you what, a lot of people were saying this. They were like, "Yo, why don't you do what they were doing with Melo and Andrade here? Because that formula does seem to work. Just let two good wrestlers wrestle." And then people like it, and then they continue to build on their matches with better matches. That seems to be a thing that works in wrestling. Seems to be a thing that's always worked for 40 years. So, Triple H is like, wow! And let's see if he does it here. But, yeah, it was good to see Dragon Lee. He was back in action last night. So was Ilya Dragunov. We also got minutes from Io Sky. We got to see guys like Sheamus wrestle as well. But maybe I'll surprise you guys. I'll reveal what my favorite match was on Raw because it was none of the matches that we referenced so far, and we'll get into that one shortly. But again, guys, super chat.
Hey guys, you never know if you super chat the right questions, Ibu may have one of his little secrets. So
right. WWE isn't as mad as me. Well, it's funny. I've been making this joke about the black SUVs lately, and a lot of it is because AEW is kind of annoyed that I've been like spoiling certain things coming up. And that's kind of why I've had to like slow down. Mainly just because they don't want to tell me things on record anymore. Because before they would just tell me it on record, and if it's on record, I can fucking report that. But yeah, they don't like their stuff getting spoiled. So I get it. It is what it is. Black SUVs, you do what you got to do. But WWE on the other hand, they're just kind of like, nah, we're doing this. And I'm like, okay, cool. But nevertheless, like I said, I got some news and notes for you guys for the upcoming stuff. Some internal reaction to Gunther and things of that nature. Yeah, send us super chats, man. Ask us questions, give us your feedback. You guys do the show. If you guys can drive the ship here with these super chats. And with that said, Rob, let's get right into them now and let's see if people pile up with some more.
All right, first super chat we got Duce Rhodes $9.99. We tapped in, hit the like button. Also, save Leon Slater. He is very underrated.
Leon Slater is very underrated. One of the better indie wrestlers from the UK. I believe he's only 19 years old at this point, or 18. And if I'm not mistaken, he's currently in TNA, but they only let him wrestle on the YouTube shows. So I don't know, man. TNA is really weird with identifying who's actually really good on their roster and like pushing them. Like they had Black Taurus last year on like the YouTube shows, and now he's the Beast Mordos in AEW and he's tearing it up. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like I feel like it's the same thing they do with Mike Bailey, where when Mike Bailey first came in, it kind of felt like they were making him pay his dues and shit like that by fucking doing pre-shows for a year, and it took him 2 years to actually win the X Division title. So, but thank you for the super chat. Black Yakuzu $5. Two black men destroying their careers this year really got me fucked up. Hate to see it. Good on WWE for moving quick. Who's the other one?
Who's the other one?
Right.
Am I forgetting somebody?
Yeah, like I don't remember the other guy.
If someone in the live chat just let me know who he's referring to. But the Odyssey Jones situation is awful. It's really unfortunate. He was taken off. For those, if you guys are just catching up here, anyone just filing in, Odyssey Jones was taken off of TV a couple weeks ago, and it looked like the the Kofi Wood story was adjusted last week. They pivoted, and yesterday it was discovered that he was removed from the roster page, and no one really had an answer as to why. I found out that basically it wasn't some like website glitch, which I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a website glitch or something, but no, it wasn't. It was a real thing. And WWE basically like were telling people like it's really bad. And Sean Ross Sapp found out today in the afternoon, and he reported it that it was due to domestic violence allegations. And jumping off of that, I kind of communicated with someone in the business, and this is from the AEW side of things, but they basically said that whatever it was, which we now know it was a DV allegation, they heard about it 2 weeks ago, that they heard that like WWE was informed about this thing and that they had to now look into it. And so 2 weeks later, one can assume that they maybe were able to confirm something about what the allegation was, and then quickly moved to just remove him from their promotion. So
Well, good.
WWE Creative, they basically were told to like stop writing things for him, stop using him like the beginning of the week. And like Sean says, DV allegation, and yeah, he's not on the roster page. He's done. Dave Meltzer said he's gone. So there you go. Really unfortunate situation. It's just a shame. And again, another guy ruining his career, and all I can do is pray for the peace of the victim,
Yeah, like absolutely. And
Mhm.
it's just I don't understand like what compels people, especially when they're trying to have careers, to like go down that, like just do things like that. It's insane. So
Yeah, I feel like it's good, a very good kudos, even though it's the bare minimum.
Right.
WWE Creative to immediately remove him. I feel like the pro wrestling industry needs to be safer for women who are both on and off the camera, both in front of and behind. It should have no place in it. So kudos to them for removing him immediately and not giving him a platform. I feel like that's something that we need to see more of, and we need to see stricter and more vigorous accountability. If people want to harm other people's lives, they shouldn't have a forum to showcase themselves on. So
Absolutely. Thank you, Black Yakuza. Did anyone in the comments reveal who the other black man he was talking about yet, or
we're
no?
talking about Jonathan
we were
Majors.
talking about Jonathan
Oh, yeah.
Majors. Another person mentioned Rich Swann. I don't think Rich Swann ruined his career because he would have got fired.
I think he's just struggling with substance abuse. So isn't that what it is, basically?
Yeah, I was talking to someone. I was talking to someone, and they said like he would be drinking backstage at shows and shit, and
Yeah,
it was just really bad. And I feel like now with what we got going on in the industry, especially with like John Moxley and his recovery and everything. I mean, we may not like the wrestler Moxley is now, but it definitely did help him, because remember, he looked a lot younger when he got over a lot of that stuff too. So.
And also, I don't, having personal struggles with substance abuse is like that's closer to a sickness and a disease than it is like a moral failing. And so
Yeah, it would be
would
different
not,
if he was on some sunny shit where he was like drunk driving and killing people. But
correct. Yeah, and so because of that, like I just wouldn't put that in the same category as like abusing a woman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It is what it is, man. Hopefully Rich Swann gets better. You know what I mean? Shit happens. And yeah. If all this stuff is true on Odyssey Jones, and just fuck him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
thank you for the super chat. Legend Rider $5. Is Sami still going to be in the Bloodline story? Seems like they dropped the Jey Uso tag team thing.
all right, well, your first scoop of the night is yes, but they adjust. The storyline has been like adjusted, like this fall period, and I can't tell you this 100% for certain, but I have a theory, Rob. I think Roman Jacob got moved, like the date of that match, and that changed the order of everything else.
Yeah,
I think because you're moving Roman Jacob, and my personal theory is they're moving that up to Mania season, if not WrestleMania itself. And if that's the case, then you do have to reroute some things. I think Roman's going to deal with Solo first, and then move on to the next phase of this thing. Dave Meltzer reported this weekend that Cody versus Rock is the WrestleMania match. That's what he said. So if that's the case, then you do have to kind of change up what you do with Roman Reigns. So I'd imagine as a result of these rewrites, that's why Sami and Jay's path has been switched up a little bit.
Yeah, because it looked like they were gonna. It looked like they just took him out of that spot and placed Damian Priest in it, and switched him over to Gunther randomly. So,
which I'm not going to complain about because like Gunther Sami is a great in-ring pair, and I'd love to watch that match again. That Mania match was fantastic.
Yeah.
Very.
So, thank you for the super chat. Jay Stone, $5. I doubt they do it, but they should run Ilya Dragon Lee the same way they're running Melo and Andrade.
I would tell you that Dragon Lee is going to now stay a TV regular, so you can celebrate that. His immediate future is going to be running tags with Rey Mysterio against the Judgment Day. That's the immediate future. Expect them to be in a qualifier for the tag team titles. There's going to be a big multi-team qualifying match with the New Day and the LWO and some other teams that exist on Raw, whatever remaining teams there are. And what was I going to say? But beyond that, WWE very much took notice of how people reacted to the Ilya Dragon Lee exchanges. And I guess I can report this. You can expect that singles match on Raw before, relatively imminently.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. So hopefully Dragon Lee gets pushed the way he should.
Yes.
So
he will at the very worst be in the mix and allowed to wrestle on the show, which is certainly a start.
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Jace. Jacob Donnelly, $5. Punk getting Hell in a Cell match in a Gunther program in the future. My GOAT getting his juice back.
Getting a listen, man. Rob, I know you were Punk batting, but it's been a good weekend for him. I thought his strap match was good. I was really happy that the stipulation and some of the story elements didn't get in the way of the wrestling. I don't know what you thought of the match. Actually, I haven't even spoken to you about it, but I liked it. I actually liked it a lot, and I'm like getting more confident in CM Punk's in-ring after with the more that I'm seeing, if that makes any sense. I feel like he himself is also getting confident. He even told people that he feels like there's more work to do, but he feels like he's like getting back in like a flow, if that makes any sense. So with that said, I guess the point I'm making is he's getting himself into a rhythm, and things are starting to click again for CM Punk. He's in the best shape he's been in a couple of years. And I'm excited to see him wrestle Gunther. I think that match is going to be tremendous. They play the same kind of music, so I think the Hell in a Cell with Drew is going to be the best match of their rivalry, and I think the Gunther title match is going to be sick too.
I feel like the reason he's getting back into a rhythm is because it's kind of different from what he was doing in AEW. It just feels like he's not really trying to do too much that he can't do. And so because he knows that if he probably tries something that he can't do, he'd probably rip a tendon or a ligament. So yeah, it feels. But I liked the match. The part that took me out, I didn't think it was bad. The part that was taking me out of it was the four corners thing, and I get it's an old school thing, but when I watch Bray and Brian, or I watch Brian and Ricky, the strap match that they had, I like that a lot more because I feel like it adds more of the drama rather than the four corners. But I still like the four corners match that they had on Saturday.
The reason I was happy with it also because there's a version of that match where it was just going to be them racing to touch the corners like it's a fucking Nickelodeon game show, but really that wasn't the idea. They went with the idea of we're going to just try to maim each other and kill each other, and when one of us is incapacitated, we'll touch the corners. That's generally the approach that they took, which is the better approach.
Yeah.
And yeah. My only real issue was I just thought the lights looked kind of goofy, the ones in the corner. But I was happy with how the match turned out. Also, I'm glad you brought that up about Punk wrestling within himself now and not trying to do too much that he can't do, because it was communicated to me that he was wrestling with the fear of injury for about a year now. His collision run, right? He apparently was wrestling with a mental block that I'm just gonna hurt myself again, and that didn't end. And the word is he finally overcame that at Bash in Berlin. So good for him.
Hopefully.
Just Don't overexert yourself, Philip Rook.
You don't feel different, but like, shit. Let me try.
Look like
try to-
shit. Nigga,
Don't
what
try
if I
to do Lariat like you
what
did
if I-
that one time.
what if I man, I feel like trying to Hurricane Rana tonight. It'll be like,
No,
no.
don't do that.
Also,
Bro,
if you
please.
see me moving my head like this, I'm trying not to have the glare of my screen glasses.
Oh.
My glasses, y'all.
Yeah, that should be bothering me too, bro. I'll be trying to. That's why I'll be making my screen darker and shit because I don't want to fucking glare in the camera. Thank you for the super chat. Hush, 199. Do y'all think Cena takes the belt off Big Goon?
Yes.
I DM'd Ibu a picture this morning of John Cena with the World Heavyweight Championship. I put an hourglass under it, and I'm letting him know.
Fuck you.
That time is coming. I hope you know.
He deserves it. You know, it's John Cena. He's somebody
Oh
who
my
you
God, please cook.
never see retire.
brother.
Oh my
He's
God,
someone
please
who-
cook.
Oh,
he's like
brother.
Undertaker. You never want him to retire, and now he's finally coming to the point where he's like, "Hey, man." He is WWE.
I got a fire booking pitch for y'all little niggas. John Cena makes it to Mania, faces off with Big Gunther, Big Gunny. He's looking for number 17. He wants to live in the history books as the GOAT, as the guy with the most championship wins ever. And you know what happens at Mania, Rob?
What?
He eats that power bomb and that splash, and he fucking loses. And Gunther says, "No, old man, not on me, fuck nigga." And Gunther retains.
He's sick. No, John Cena.
Yes,
is
sir.
I don't even know if he's doing.
Boom.
I want W's in the chat because I think I'm cooking.
I don't know if he does it at Mania because
right now. No cooking.
But that's the thing. I don't know if you do it at Mania because do you have Gunther lose 2 Mania matches in a row?
Yes, it's for a good cause.
For a good cause. I think Cena failing, at least in the first try. I think him failing in the first try would be a great story.
No, he has failed. They let him lose to Austin Theory at WrestleMania Hollywood.
That was just bullshit.
In a match that was absolutely egregiously ass.
That shit sucked. Yeah, that shit sucked.
You're so mad. Super Cena's coming back and he's gonna finish the story for the last
I
time.
love Super Cena, and while we're
I want him to tease Super Cena. I want him to just run through niggas so the fans think he's gonna beat Gunther, but he doesn't beat Gunther.
I need him to take a super power bomb and then get right back up and do.
We are chasing history.
Exactly.
Yo.
Plus, I want him to win so that we don't have Ric Flair having that record. Let John Cena have it. Also, John Cena, follow me on Twitter. You follow everybody else. Follow me.
He follows me. It took him 5 years to follow me. So, thank you for the super chat. Black Yakuza 94. Yo, can we talk about JD? Judgment Day having a worse reign than Awesome Truth. Over 2 months without a single TV title defense. While Awesome Truth has 5 defenses in the same time frame. No.
Nothing is worse than Awesome Truth.
No, we're not. No, because we know the differences between Awesome Truth and the Judgment Day is that when Finn and JD wrestle, we know it's going to be a good match. Awesome Truth, not so much. So, yeah. Thank you for the super chat. Jay Stone, $5. As soon as I sent the chant, y'all mentioned it. So here's another. Will Adam Pearce be kayfabe fired? Raw is a unsafe working environment. Cole was right. Yes, he should. That should be the story because they've been doing this for with authority figures for years. 20 years ago, when Eric Bischoff just went on a rampage. He was harassing female workers. He was making all the babyface workers do handicap matches. And then Linda McMahon came in and was like, okay, you either get fired or you work with Stone Cold. They did it 10 years ago with Vicky Guerrero when she went on a power trip. They fired her. So I don't think Adam Pearce is going on a fire trip, but they do need to add like an enforcer or some sort of enforcer along the line so we can really get Raw back on track.
Bro,
bring back the little laptop.
Oh no, not the laptop. Fuck the laptop. if they bring back the
And
laptop,
Michael
I'm
Cole was
quitting the Raw review.
I have an email from
If,
the general manager.
yeah, that'd be horrible. Listen,
He's
Rob,
the
my pitch was Rob when this was beginning. My pitch was for Dijak to be the enforcer of Raw to kind of help out Adam Adam Pearce, but he he didn't get renewed, so we can't do that one.
And
Frankly,
then
bro, that nigga's doing like low level indies and like MLW. Just call him back and give him his fucking job back,
bro, Dijak, and like people may feel what they feel about Dijak, but Dijak is too fucking good to be to be doing shitty indies where he is right now, at least in a WWE sense, bro.
Literally.
Remember the match he had with Wesley last year at Vengeance Day? Come on.
The match he had with Ilya Dragunov a couple months later.
Bro, he had remember the match he had with Noam Dar a couple months ago was even fired before he got called up. Like, come on, bro.
His black and gold era was.
Oh my god, yeah, the Keith Lee stuff. Dijak's good, man. He's good, and I don't know why WWE passed on keeping him. Like, to me, it's like that's a good big man to have on your show. And like I said, he could have been like the enforcer of justice on Monday Night Raw that made sure, because he already was doing the whole thing of like he's basically doing this like Punisher, Terminator, policeman thing anyway. So it's like he could have been that. He could have done that whole thing on Raw.
Bro, the whole MLW show, there was a Doomsday Countdown, and it was just him. Patrick Hughes 199. Braun wearing feet instead of tape on his ribs popped me.
That's not what that super chat said.
That is exactly what it says.
Braun wearing
feet of tape.
Feet of tape.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
You said feet instead of tape.
Yes. Oh. You said he's wearing feet instead of tape.
Oh no, I was reading.
He was reading Wattpad. He's on his.
Yeah, no, I was reading something on my phone. Sorry.
Whoa, what are you reading?
Yeah. No, I was reading like two different things at once, so I got distracted. Sorry. Because I was texting my mom. Anyway,
Braun Strowman was so funny yesterday because he had to sell that he took that tsunami from the car. So he's just like, WWE Medical has cleared me, and I want to wrestle tonight. And he's just Adam Pearce being so awful at his job. He's like, you look me in the eyes and tell me you can wrestle. He's like, I can wrestle. He's like, all right. It's like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, why don't you ask a doctor? Like, hey, is my talent actually cleared or is he lying to me? You know, but
Adam Pearce has zero aura. He has the freaking authoritative capability of a freaking lima bean.
Bro, he tells people to stop doing. Bro, you remember how many times he was like, yo, Braun, stop doing this. And then Braun was like, yeah, no, I'll stop doing this. And then he went right back. He turned right back around and kept doing it.
I'd rather have Jason Jordan. Like, I feel like he has authoritative capability. Like, whenever there's like a brawl and he comes out and he's like, stop right now. I'm like, hey.
All I know is this shit don't be going down in Nick Aldis' SmackDown.
Nick Aldis is my dad.
That's the nigga that people are afraid of.
Yo, remember when he told Roman, he said, yo, not gonna lie, we're not doing that.
Yeah, he sat right next to Roman and was just like, yo, I don't know how you did shit before I came here, but that's not how my show goes, bro.
He said, nigga, do I look like Adam Pearce to you? Yo, that nigga Roman was terrorizing Adam Pearce. He was dragging him by his tie and shit. Thank you for the super chat. Corey Davis, $5. Odyssey Jones really ruined his own career. I pray Trick and Oba never do no dumb shit like this. Hate to see, but keep your hands to yourself. Yeah, do you remember when Oba like did that thing on IG where like you put some another person's story on your or another person's post on your story, and it was like something about a church. It was a church thing, and everybody like tried to get him out of here for that.
The thing is, Rob, when you say everybody, you really just meant like 4 accounts on Twitter. But
no, bro, there was like, well, no, it was like one account. It was like one account, but it was a couple accounts that tried to like drag onto it and tried to be like, yo, what is this? Obafemi is talking about beating his kids, and they were like, no, bro, he was not.
Nevertheless, hopefully these young black men don't do anything stupid like that, and hopefully they don't get themselves canceled, because I'm a fan of Obafemi and I'm a fan of Trick Williams. So
literally no Obafemi voodoo because Monty
Please.
would literally shut down Russell Pierce if something happens to Obafemi.
Oh yeah, Monty would be fucking depressed. Yeah.
Thanks for the super chat. Hush 199, has the men's tag belts been on a pay-per-view this year? No, I don't think so. Besides WrestleMania, no.
Yes, Elimination Chamber against the New Catch Republic.
I feel like they should. I mean, I don't know, because who do you put on the pay? What tag champions do you put on the pay-per-view? What matches? I think DIY versus the Bloodline should have been on SummerSlam, but they apparently they didn't. So,
bro, the bottom line is this is the problem with 5-match pay-per-views, because it's like you go to the most important stuff and then all of a sudden the tag belts get shafted. If these shows are 7 matches, you're getting the tag title match like on most months, you know,
bro. And then it's like the show, bro. Bash in Berlin was 3.5 hours, and they only wrestled for an hour and 45 minutes total on the show, and it's just like, bro, come on.
Yeah, so some of that is like the unavoidable like Peacock commercials and stuff, but I don't know, man. To me, it's like for the tag titles to make it to pay-per-view, it has to be a major program, because again, you're fighting with a bunch of other programs to be one of the 5 slots. And I'm looking at this show already, right? I'm already seeing WWE fans think, like, I saw WWE fans projecting the Bad Blood card, right, Rob? And they're saying, oh, this match, that match, this match, that match, and they already listed 4 matches, and we haven't even started SmackDown yet. And it's like, bro, this is a 5-match card. I don't think 4 of those 5 matches are going to be Raw matches. Like, clearly one of these things is going to be on TV. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, I saw people going, oh, it's going to be Braun and Jay. It's going to be Punk and Drew. It's going to be Sami and Gunther. It's going to be Damian and Finn and Rhea and Liv. Guess what, Rob? That's already 5 matches right there. And we don't even know what the SmackDown matches are. So clearly, some of those are not going to be on the show. And my already immediate prediction, I think Braun and Jay will be a TV match, you know?
Yeah, and it's just like, it's also a thing as to even if you want to do what Fastlane Payback was 6 matches, bro, even do 6 matches. But it's just like we should not, bro. You can dedicate those fucking Rhea Ripley NXT Judgment Day video packages when they're on the show, by the way, to another title match.
For sure. Well, I had this conversation with WWE already, Rob, and they basically were like, brother, they pay for that ad time. Like, there's nothing we could do, because on the free tier, like, it's just like random generic Peacock ads. So
they're not paying enough if y'all niggas got to go to Minneapolis and Indiana for WrestleMania. So I'm not reading that name.
I'm not gonna do it either.
That's crazy.
I did it the first time.
I was wait before you get to that super chat. I want to float an idea out at you, Rob, because I'm curious. How would you feel about them continuing the 5-match shows, but bringing back brand exclusive pay-per-view? So it'd be like a 5-match Raw pay-per-view and a 5-match SmackDown.
I would have no problem with that.
Would you like that more? Or would you like that less?
I would like that more, because it's just like it would help build more people up on Raw, and it would help make more people stars. Like, you could do that Dragon Lee or your Dragon of #1 contenders match on an Unforgiven for Raw in September. You could do a Bad Blood match where it's Punk. Well, they're already doing it, but you could do a Punk versus a guy you don't want to put him in the main event against yet.
I feel like it will work better with the product that they're trying to make now, since it's a hot commodity right now, WWE. You want to have not people get oversaturated with the same people. If you bring back those brand exclusive pay-per-views where you could showcase stars on both ends the proper way, being able to properly showcase the women's division when you have these brand exclusive premium live events, not pay-per-view. Like, you could do that.
Someone in live chat popped me because they said a 5-match SmackDown show would be fucking horrible. Rob, your show SmackDown, I don't know, man. Rob, can you come up with right now, based on the ongoing feuds right now, right?
Right now,
on the spot, come up with a banger 5-match SmackDown pay-per-view. Let's say right now, right? I told you that it was what's an old SmackDown pay-per-view name? No Mercy, even though they just used that. Let's say WWE No Mercy was coming up in 3 weeks. Based on what's happening right now on the brand, give me a 5-match SmackDown No Mercy card.
Melo Andrade 2 out of 3 falls.
Okay.
Bloodline versus Street Profits for the tag team championships.
Okay.
Let's see who else.
Now it gets a little shaky.
I would do a number one contenders match with DIY and another team, or I would do a tag turmoil if you want to do that to get other tag teams on the show.
Oh,
But
brother.
If it was anybody else, I would do DIY probably versus. I need a heel tag team. I'm trying to think of a heel tag. Probably.
Your option is pretty deadly. Or Legato, Delphin.
I would do that. DIY versus
Gargano.
Legato, the number one contender. For the world title, Cody, I would do Cody versus.
I mean, you'd have to run back Kevin Owens, right?
Yeah, Cody versus KO2. And then for
Nia, hello.
Nia versus.
You got to get the women on there.
Yeah, and I would do Nia versus.
Oh boy.
I would say Bianca. I would say Bianca, but she's a fucking tag team champion right now, so never mind.
Okay.
Nia versus probably Naomi. Yeah. So 5 matches. I mean, it's not
Nia, Naomi, tag number one contender, tag title, Cody's match, and then Andrade and Mello.
2 out of 3 falls, and the winner gets a championship shot of their choosing.
That's a solid little show.
SmackDown really fell off. I can't even begin.
The roster's mid. Very mid.
Mid to y'all.
I don't want to answer any more questions about AEW, guys.
I'm crying.
Does Rob love Gable more than he hates Jade? No, I don't hate Jade. My issue, my issue with the Jade situation is, right? She should be in NXT number 1. Number 2, I don't feel like she's dragging down Bianca Belair, but Bianca Belair should have been on SummerSlam, and it's really no use for them to be the tag team. First of all, the tag team division is barely even. The tag team champions should be the Sky Pirates, number 1. Number 2, Jade is not improving, and people can see that Jade is not improving. And so it's really just holding down Bianca Belair to be tag team champions. She's been doing this for like 6 months. Remember, they said she was in the PC for mad long when she first got there. So, yeah, no, I don't hate her.
Really?
I don't think. I feel like people stretch it though. She's not that bad, bro.
I'm not saying like she's awful. I'm saying like she's still at the level she was at, kind of in AEW, just with a few extra moves.
Yes, I feel like it's really taking away from Bianca as well. Bianca was somebody who was at the top, and it's kind of weird to see her so like not muted because she still has it, but like it's not really like, you had Jade coming in like this force. They had her face off with Charlotte Flair in a backstage segment, all these things. They treated her like a megastar. And it's like there's not really much to show for it outside of beautiful gear and, power moves that we see all the time in every match. I feel like there's just something that's not clear.
I said it a few months ago. She should be on NXT, and they should be making her the face of the. They should be trying to make her, along with Julia and a couple of the other girls, of the faces of the women's division on CW, or even the face of CW. Because so you put Jade Cargill in that position, she gets mad popular, and she continues to get better with the women down in NXT, working with the women in NXT, and she gets to a point of popularity where you can say on the main roster, if you bring her up, you could add to her attributes or her accomplishments that she was and not only NXT Women's Champion, but she was the face of the NXT Women's division on the CW. So I mean.
I feel like there's women in NXT now that could have been given where Jade is at and done so much more with it and just be more like star power. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but I don't hate her according to other people. The joke I made yesterday because her 2K model is like really bad because it's the wrong haircut. So, thank you for the super chat, Matt Hennessy, €60. €60. WWE should use Dragon Lee in a similar way to how Andrade is being used in Book Raw main event scene. Looks good with Drew, Gunther, Finn, Sami, Punk, Seth, and Priest. The Jones situation sucks. Folks, don't make this about WWE versus AEW. Prayers go out to the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, don't make this about AEW versus WWE because
Yeah.
there's going to be shitty people everywhere. Okay, it doesn't matter whether they're in WWE. It doesn't matter whether they're in AEW. They are a shitty person regardless of the situation. There are shitty people actively still in the locker rooms of both companies. So there doesn't need to be a war between. And there's shitty people in every locker. There's shitty people in the Noah locker room right now. So stop making this an AEW versus WWE.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
Thank you for the super chat. Joshua Toffee, 199. Punk might be cooked after that Gunther chop. Yo, Gunther chops him one time. Gunther chops him one time. Y'all gonna get that report like that one Hangman report where he was like, "Oh, you're chopping me too hard." So, yeah. Thank you for the
That is interesting. Punk is notoriously he's not a fan of chops, and Gunther is. That's his primary offensive weapon, so that'll be interesting to see.
You better get ready to learn the lyrics of whatever.
Yeah. It'll be a great match, though.
Definitely. Thank you for the super chat, Brendan Thomas, 199. Ibu, what did you think about Roxanne versus Miss Parker?
I was a big fan. I said it yesterday, and I said it more on Twitter, but she just it just feels like real proper wrestling when I watch her matches. Like it doesn't feel like this like overly choreographed rehearsed like routine. It doesn't feel like she's just trying to remember the next spot. Like with her, it just feels like natural, and she's riding the crowd, and she's kind of like leading the person on. And I've watched like so many Roxanne matches this year where she's facing someone older than her, but she's the one leading it, and like it's kind of crazy to think about because she's like 22 years old, so well beyond her years in the ring. And Jada Parker, that's another person that like every time I see her, she's improved. And like the thing about her that like is impressive to me is not like, oh my god, like she has blow away athleticism, or oh my god, like she could do these cool moves. Which there's nothing wrong with cool moves. Like Sol Ruka, like that's her main appeal. She can do really cool athletic shit, right?
Yeah.
But with Jada, it's more that she just kind of like really clearly understands wrestling on a fundamental level. Like she understands like what wrestling is supposed to be and how you're supposed to approach it. And she has really good instincts, like whether like selling instincts, for example, or like how to react to certain things in the moment. You know, things that maybe weren't like planned, you know, but just kind of happen on the fly. She went for a suplex in the match, and like because she was selling her ribs, she had to sell the rib pain, and she couldn't get the suplex off because she was hurt in the midsection. Like little things like that, you know, that like people just wouldn't think about. But yeah, I thought it was a very good match. The crowd heat in the building, because the crowd really took it seriously. That should go to show you that Roxanne has become a star, because they see her as a star, and that's why they reacted that way. Like it had big time like crowd heat. So I thought it was a very good match.
A lot of live show charisma.
100%.
No, really good match. I am such a fan of Miss Roxanne and Jada. You know, she's someone that you could see she has a lot of room to grow, but she does with what she has. And she just has something, like it's just aura about her that is just, I see her being a main staple in months to come.
That NXT women's division is looking monstrous. Like
I love it. Hey, anything with women, I'm telling you, women's wrestling is putting men's wrestling to shame right now.
Especially in NXT.
Well, thank you. Finally, since Joe Hendry is gone,
right,
we can get back to business. We get back to working on what we got cooking down there, and we could go build into our NXT World's Heavyweight Champion, Ethan Page, my World's Heavyweight Champion, leading us.
I'll say this about All Ego, Rob. That first match of Trick sucked. The one in Vegas, that match sucked. But ever since then, he's been solid. He's been solid since then. He's about where he was in AEW, which was like, because in AEW he was a solid wrestler. It was just that like solid isn't good enough, you know, when like there's so many other great guys, right? But,
I don't believe you're right. No, I don't believe. No.
What happened? What happened?
People started crying in the comments, talking about, oh brother, yeah, nigga, no, I don't believe. Cry.
Oh, we got Joe Hendry fans in the chat.
Joe Hendry is like 56 years old, just like turning around talking about, I believe in Joe Hendry. And then you got like Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, who are like 75 years old, freaking dancing to I believe in Matt Hardy.
Yo, Jeff Hardy loves Joe
Spare
Hendry.
us.
It's kind of insane.
I could picture Jeff. You know, Jeff's singing voice is so funny. I could picture him singing the fucking Joe Hendry song.
Did you see? You never seen the video of him? He actually did it. It's a video of him in his like backyard. He's like, I believe in Joe Hendry.
And on that note, I have to go to my job, y'all.
Jonna, thank you. Enjoy work, or maybe not enjoy work, but best of luck. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
All right, take care. All right.
What was I about to say? Yeah, but no. Yeah. So Roxanne, I liked Roxanne and Jada Parker. I did. I think the women's division is getting very good. We'll see what happens on NXT tonight. Thank you for the super chat. Hush 499. Big Dwayne is getting the belt off of Cody, by the way. My very close sources at Netflix have soured big on Cody and said they need the title on a real fucking wrestler.
Cody Rhodes has been an excellent world champion, and all his non-bloodline title defenses have been fantastic.
You said Cody Rhodes has been a what?
He's been an excellent world champion.
No, we don't support. We don't support 2 million viewers around here. We only do 2.3 around these parts.
Oh, brother.
Thank you for the super chat. Peter G95. Y'all like wrestling? Y'all don't like storytelling? Thank you for the super chat. £5. Any clue why Io's been on 2 PLEs this year? Damn. Only 2? Damn. Also, please get her and Bianca out of the tag division.
I think it's just a case of how the cookie crumbles with these cards. I don't see it as they don't think much of her or anything like that. They see her as a star, but yeah, that's the thing about these cards is when you go 5, a lot of really great talent who are key players will sometimes just miss these cards. So
yeah, and it's very weird how they can't like figure her. Bro, stop doing 5-match cards. Do a 6-match card. Then get it over with. Thank you for the super chat. Juju 499. Low-key, WWE should have Bianca turn on Jada Bad Blood, attacking her and writing her character off to the Rumble so she can train in the PC.
Low-key, WWE should have. Maybe. I don't want Bianca to turn heel.
Yeah, like I don't know. I
really want. I'd rather not.
Yeah, I'd rather not, especially since she's like so popular.
Doing a write-off story though, like I could. That's a solid idea of like giving her time to just kind of like step away and refresh and recharge the batteries and come back with a new hold, as they say.
Or what you could do, you could have somebody like Nia take her out and injure her, and then you send her away, or you have somebody else do it and you send her away, and then Bianca just goes for the title, and they could do a sort of storyline where she comes back and like last year with Jimmy and Jay, but they didn't do this. She's like, well, I got hurt, and they did it with LA Knight and AJ Styles, where AJ got hurt, and then LA just took the title shot. He was like, you just stepped over me to take the title shot. You actually didn't really give a fuck about me. So we do something like that. So thank you for the super chat. Honest Assault and $2. Give test comments. Give test. Is it Testator or is it Testatori?
Testator.
Okay, I thought it was Testatori because I
looked him up on Twitter yesterday, and I found out he followed me. I don't know when that happened. Joe Testator follows me.
Yeah, I thought he was mad Italian, so I thought it was Testatori. But yeah, no. I think and it's basically, I said it on Twitter yesterday, but I think they should do with new commentators. I think they should do the Don West approach and just react to what's going on in the ring. Don't try to be professional. Don't try to treat it like a sport. Well, treat it like a sport, yeah, but don't over exaggerate how much of a sport it is. Have fun while you're doing it.
That probably is the thing he said. It's because he's from a real sports background. So he's probably like, if anything, my calling card isn't my wealth of knowledge of wrestling. It's just how like clean I am as a real sports announcer. So he's probably like, I'm gonna just gonna stick to that and see how it takes me. And I thought like he sounded super professional, but yeah, I get what you mean. Like have more fun, loosen up, lower your shoulders. That
Yo,
kind of
Don, at that Dragon Lee and Ilya Dragunov sequence, Don West, God rest his soul, he would have been like, yeah, this is unbelievable.
You know what it was. If there's any criticism I have of Joe, and hopefully this kind of works and like gets better in the next few weeks, there were times where like he needed to be more dramatic on a call and he wasn't, and then there was times where he was over dramatic on a normal thing. So let me give you an example. Ilya does the Torpedo Moscow, and I guess he didn't realize that was Ilya's finish. So he kind of goes like, he drives the shoulder in the drag into Lee, and then the match ends. You're like, he called it like it was a normal thing that happened and not the finish, and then it caught him off guard. And then conversely, Rob, there's moments where like a heel is doing very basic heel things, and he's like acting like overly disgusted, and it's like you got to like pick your spots for when you're like disgusted and when you're just kind of like, all right, look at this asshole. For example, Gunther called the crowd Denver degenerates. He was like, you Denver degenerates. And this guy's like, oh, why? After what he did in Berlin, now he's going to call them degenerates? Come on, Gunther, come on. And it's like, it's not that serious, bro. Like, it's not like that. That's one of those moments where you got to just be like, you got to just kind of like be like, oh, what a prick, right?
No, but I know, but at least with that, like, I know he's trying to have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit over the top and kind of cartoonish and animated, yeah. But it's like it's not robotic like fucking Jimmy Smith.
It was a robot, and Adnan Virk was terrible. The other one that had me dying. Listen, the other one that had me dying was in the tag match. Baszler acted like he was gonna fight Priest, and then he immediately tags out, right? And then this guy was like, oh, come on, typical Judgment Day. Finn Balor just walking out of the ring. He's not even going to fight Damian Priest. It's a tag match. Come on. It's like,
what a beast.
That's just basic heel shit, bro. Like, it's not, like, he's basically like, what the fuck? Like, he's crashed out. Like,
what a beast.
Bro, all he did was tag.
Bro, but I like that. I like that though, because he's reacting how we're supposed to be reacting. Like, oh, brother.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing a fan would be outraged at in like 1986. So it's like, oh, Ric Flair's not gonna fight. He's not gonna fight Ricky Morton. What? Get in the ring. Like,
thank you for the super chat, Wayne. $2. Thank you for the super chat, Wayne. Another $2. Jade Cargill and NXT squashing Sol Ruka. No thanks. I don't think she would be doing that though.
Yo, someone put this quote when Drew McIntyre was in the hoodie. Like usually in wrestling, the announcer plays dumb until he reveals himself. Like they're like, who is that? Oh, it's Drew, right? But this guy was like, that's Drew McIntyre in the hoodie.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre is literally going to take off the hoodie. Wait a minute. That's Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre in that hoodie. the other, oh my God, here's another funny one. He would say something, and you could clearly tell Triple H just yelled like the correct thing in his ear. He'd be like, Ivy got her in the choke. A dragon sleeper. It's a dragon sleeper. Like,
I seen a clip earlier where Io hits the Shote and he goes uppercut. And Wade goes Shote.
A Shote. It's a Shote. Another one. Kairi Sane did a dive, and he was like, "What a dive by Dakota Kai!" And then and Wade's like, "Oh, I could see how you can mix that up, but that was Kairi Sane. Dakota Kai is nursing an injury," and he's like, "That's right, it's Kairi Sane."
Yeah, like he's gonna have some mess ups, but
it's not a big deal. Like it's not a big deal.
Yeah, like if he takes the time to like lock in, like I feel like he'll get a lot better with time.
I think he'll be very good in a couple months.
Definitely, because it seems like he's already having fun. So
he has the enthusiasm for it, and he has a good voice. Like his voice is good. He's just now it's just like learning about the product better, and also just knowing when to like really be like lit and when to like be normal and that type of thing. You know? Yeah. So
thank you for the super chat. Wait, I don't know. We didn't even touch on this one. I mean, I guess I'll briefly touch on this one. I mean, I guess
I agree. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, like I don't want to see that. Berkey 199, Danhausen's son or Joe Hendry daughter. A vasectomy. Thank you for the super chat. Hush 199. Should Jade switch to a more big men / women's style? Yes. I don't know why 6 foot that bothers me about like Indy Hartwell. I don't know why these 6 foot tall fucking women want to go out there and try to be fucking Stardom or lower card Marigold wrestlers, bro. You're not that. You are 6 foot tall. Wrestle like see. That's why I like Lash Legend. Lash Legend wrestles like she's 6 foot tall because she is. She does choke slams and sidewalk slams and big boots. Stop trying to do lucha when you're 8 feet tall, bro. It doesn't work. Thank you for the super chat. Broke Boy Mon, Broke Boy Mon 199. Dom Mysterio, Jack Perry is heels.
Well, Dom has a better understanding of who he is than Jack does because this, to me, Rob, my thing on the scapegoat, and I like Jack Perry. I think it's like funny, but I feel like he doesn't. He's like the scapegoat feels like a mix of different ideas. For the record, I want to make this clear. I don't think Dom is a better wrestler than Jack Perry.
Yeah.
I feel like the scapegoat is a mix of ideas. Like, are you a cult leader? Are you Raven? Are you like a spoiled rich kid who's getting this opportunity because of the Bucks? And I feel like it's a mix of different things. And I think the lack of full-on understanding of what the scapegoat actually is affects his in-ring, because I feel like if he 100% knew what the scapegoat was, he'd wrestle to that. But because it's a mix of ideas, he's like in the ring, like acting like Jake the Snake Roberts sometimes, but then he's kind of doing a little bit of Shawn Michaels. It's just a little scattered. So I guess in that respect, Dom like knows exactly what he is. He's a shitter. He's a whiny little shitter who's a loser who gets beat up. Like that's literally his thing. And when he gets heat, he knows how to like just kind of punch and egg the crowd on and that type of thing. But I don't know, man. I think one way to get better is to wrestle Bryan Danielson. That's what Jack's gonna do. So
yes, definitely. Thank you for the super chat and the last super chat before you run through Monday Night Raw. No, Mostradamus 199. Why don't they want Ronaldo anymore? Ronaldo doesn't want. I don't think
Ronaldo doesn't want to work in WWE. Triple H offered him a job in I want to say October 2022, and he turned it down.
Yeah, because if you think about Morrow's WWE experience, it wasn't the best. He got bullied by JBL the first time around, and then the second time around, he kind of was just doing his thing, and he kind of just got pushed out the door. So I wouldn't want to go back either. All right, then that is the last of the super chats before we go through Monday Night Raw. Ibu, remind me, please, where was Monday Night Raw last night?
Raw was in Denver, Colorado. Same exact venue as they were in last night or the night before for NXT No Mercy. Let's get this. I'm an idiot. I didn't have this thing ready. Here he goes. Yeah, the Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. And the show opened up. Wade Barrett was in the ring, and he welcomed the Denver crowd to Raw. And Barrett introduces us to Joe Tessitore. And Joe Tessitore was thrilled to be a member of the broadcast team. He put over the Denver fans by comparing them to European crowds they had over last week. Because he was saying, an unmatched energy in Berlin, an energy that could only be matched by Denver Bronco fans. And the crowd's like, yeah. He's hyping them up. We had a video recap of Asher Berlin. And then after that, we saw Gunther, CM Punk, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill entering the arena. In your opening segment, Rhea Ripley welcomed everybody to Monday Night Raw. The crowd was going crazy for her. They were so into Rhea Ripley. Like the mommy chants and all that shit. They were losing their fucking minds. The crowd cheered as she spoke about her win alongside Damian Priest over Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. She said that they weren't done yet because it was time for her to regain the championship she never lost. Dominic interrupts. He has a really bad black eye and like red in his eye. Rhea Ripley said that nobody wanted to hear him speak, so he should go out and get his little girlfriend before she gives him another black eye. Dom said that Morgan was still recovering from what she did to her in Berlin. The crowd told Dom he sucked. Dom said that they were taken advantage of in Berlin. They were jet lagged and didn't get much sleep. And he said thanks to other reasons too, implying that like he was just having sex with Liv like all night. So that's why. Dom said that Morgan wasn't afraid of Ripley. Morgan beat Ripley before and would beat her again. Dom said that he was going to win the Intercontinental Championship and they would both be champions. Rhea Ripley, I believe she said "Cállate estúpido" in a really bad accent. Ripley told Dom, she said she wanted Dom to tell Morgan that she would fight her anytime, any place. And Dom was like, anytime, any place, huh? And Liv comes out of nowhere and she tries to cheap shot Rhea Ripley. Ripley saw it coming and knocked her down. Ripley turned to Dom, but the distraction allowed for Morgan to attack her from behind. Ripley wound up caught upside down in between the ropes, and Liv Morgan booted her leg before kissing her on the cheek. At this point, Joe Tessitore was like, oh, "This isn't right. Rhea Ripley's in a compromised position. She's in a compromised position." And they're attacking her, and he's just like, "This is unfair." He's doing that whole thing. Damian Priest chases them off. Rhea Ripley's selling the leg, and Damian Priest carried her out. So a fine opening segment here. Not much to really analyze. So what I'm actually going to ask you, Rob, is what did you think of the mixed tag at Berlin? Because I thought that was like
I actually like you. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought that they did exactly what they were supposed to do in that match in the way that they structured it. So yeah, you could make the argument it was like the second best match of the show for me. Chad Gable, Morgan was doing her thing out there. I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, I thought it was her best performance ever, bro. She did that fucking sunset powerbomb to the barricade. I was like, "What the fuck?"
I was like, "Yo, you've never done this in your life."
American Made, Rob. They looked like beasts.
Yeah,
they were wearing these like these new outfits, these new gears, and they look awesome. And Chad Gable was hyping them up backstage, and he's saying, "I'm sick of the Wyatts," and he's like. He told American Made that they were the best athletes to show up in WWE in 10 years. That's because Chad debuted in WWE in the PC 10 years ago. After a break, the trainers, what's it called? We're checking on Rhea Ripley, but she screamed at them, and Priest urged her to let the trainers assist her. Priest said he would talk to Adam Pearce so they could deal with the Judgment Day, and Rhea let the trainers kind of tend to her knee. It was time for 6-person tag action, Rob, because we got a 11-minute match here, mixed tag, Ivy Nile and the Creed brothers versus Maxine Dupree and Otis and Akira Tozawa. And this was, in my opinion, the best match of the show. This is fucking awesome. Crowd was losing their mind. The Creeds looked awesome. They love Otis so much. When he tags in, like it's like nothing but electricity and energy. His cool big man moves where he's rolling underneath and doing clotheslines and doing that world's strongest slam and all that stuff. He was just a ton of fun. But Akira Tozawa, man, this dude, like we know he's great, right? But like, man, like just his charisma, like, because he can do the funny stuff and he can be quirky and like eccentric, but he's also like just an awesome wrestler. So like when he's doing the dives, when he rips the shirt off, when he does the German suplex, it's just so exciting.
Akira Tozawa is the definition of a power walking wrestler.
Maybe, but he just knows how to turn it up and be awesome. And now like this Otis and Tozawa team is just like they're just a ton of fun.
Yeah.
The fans, this was rocking the house because the crowd loves Otis, they love Tozawa, and they also love Maxine. And the formula was perfect because when Otis comes in, it's to do cool power shit and then do the worm. When Tozawa comes in, it's to bring the energy. When Maxine comes in, it's to build to the few spots that she does know how to do. And the fans are aware that she's like inexperienced. So when she does like the vertical suplex or the perfect plex or things like that, it gets a big reaction because it's like, oh my God, look at this non-wrestler doing a move. Like that's how they see it. And so it's a perfect formula. And again, that's not to say the Creeds weren't great because they were fucking sensational. There was a point in Rob where Tozawa does a German suplex and he does a tope to one side towards the announce table. And then he gets up. He does another tope towards like the entranceway, right? Julius catches him on that and then belly to bellies them on the floor. And you're like, man, what's going on? Brutus does the Brutus ball to what's his face? Who did he do the Brutus ball to? To Otis. But this thing kind of came to a head. I also got to point out Maxine, like the crowd was going nuts for her stuff. She does the worm. She ripped her shirt off. She was gonna finish it off, and then Chad Gable got involved, and then she kicked Chad Gable. Just a lot of cool explosive spots here. A lot of fun. This match ended when Ivy Nile gave the Dragon Sleeper to Maxine. So before we get to the post-match angle, what did you think of this match, Rob?
I really enjoyed this match for the simple fact that I feel like everybody got to showcase what they can do in the exact way that they should have been showcased. The Creeds are always awesome. Ivy Nile rules, but fucking Alpha Academy, even in the loss, I feel like they still got over big because the shit that Akira Tozawa reminded everybody that he can do and is still capable of doing, and Otis with his like this charisma that Otis has, not really from doing much, just being like the fun, lovable character that he is. But Maxine, I feel like Maxine, and I was really like perplexed by all the shit I seen she was getting yesterday, because I was like, her performance was really well, bro, and she's really been improving. Like the her perfect plex is fine. Like the moves she was doing in the ring, her suplexes are fine. The dive that she did yesterday, where she didn't, a lot of people in her position that's been doing this less than, well, a little bit more than a year now would have slipped and like died. But like she's been doing pretty well. I'm not saying she's a good wrestler or a great wrestler yet, but she has the potential to really succeed. So I really enjoyed this tag match.
American Made came off like a fucking just an elite fighting unit.
Yo, Gable, them going to the backstage area.
But Chad Gable, he's hyping up Brutus. Brutus is so lit. He fucking throws a chair. He's like, ah!
Ah! And then if he gets in fucking Julius Creed's face, it just goes whap right in the fucking face.
The shit out of Julius, and then Julius puts the mouthpiece on, and he's like,
ah! Yeah.
Nah, he needs to do the Kurt Angle, the yeah. I need him to see. They're so sick. They're so sick. So after this, Chad Gable was just kind of like, yeah, getting in the ring. He's hyped after the win, and he said I should have had a. He said he should have had a one-on-one classic against Uncle Howdy, but Howdy used his freaks to get the win. Gable knew what it would take to finish them, and so he said, "I'm going to finish this crap next week." And he challenged them to an 8-man match, but not just any 8-man, a street fight. And he said, pick any one of your 4 freaks and to fight us. And I predicted this last week, Rob, because I said that this was not the end, because there has to be a big group plunder match, and I expected that, because number one, it's too big of an opportunity to pass up, because historically, Rob, some of the best Wyatt matches, the group matches, are big plunder matches. And also, if you remember, Rob, in NXT, the Creeds were animals in tornado tags with stipulations. Like, they were fucking insane.
Oh my, yo, the match they had against the Garzas.
Exactly. And so I gotta say, I'm pretty excited for this one, because I'm thinking about like what Brutus and like Eric Rowan are gonna do fighting like amongst the crowd or some shit, or like what type of nut shit they're gonna try out.
And
like,
you know, Joe Gacy don't give a fuck about himself. So
Joe Gacy's gonna jump off the ramp or some shit. I think like I want to give this shit 3 segments. Give this shit 3 segments and like destroy something. Destroy the stage, break tables, go crazy. They challenged him to an 8-man street fight, and Howdy basically and Howdy speak accepted. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this one, because I think the potential for like really creative stuff is there, because like I said, the Creeds are great in that type of setting, in these big setting kind of matches, and the Wyatts historically in the past were strong at that. And so I actually do trust guys like Eric Rowan and Gacy to kind of come up with some cool shit. So there you go. After this, let's look here. After this, we had Shayna Baszler versus Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega called out a fan in the audience because they had a sign that was attributed to her deceased father. Her dad passed away. I believe it was 9/11, if I'm not mistaken. So the person had the sign, and she was really emotional about it. And she faced Shayna Baszler here. 2-segment match, not much to it, but the fans were into Zelina. She was very emotional, and ultimately Shayna Baszler got the win with a knee. After the match, they were beating up on Zelina. We got a returning Lyra Valkyria. Good to see her back. She came out for the save. Still wasn't enough to overcome the numbers game, and so the 3 women beat the 2 women. And Sonya grabs the mic, and she's kind of just talking her shit. She said that there was no one in the back that could, or in the crowd that could take them on. She dared anyone to shoot their shot. There's a funny liner. She said, like, no man could have us, and no woman could take us. So they are like.
And mad niggas on Twitter were like, "Yeah, we know."
Yeah, I was gonna say. Steve Macy was like, just in case you didn't know, we're lesbian. It's like, we're aware, Sonya. But yeah, so they cut their promo, and it's looking like Lyra and Zelina are gonna need another person to even the fight. And they're in Calgary next week. And just to skip ahead, there was a backstage segment where Lyra basically said, like, I know who I could call. So I wonder who that's going to be, Rob. I have a feeling. Who it's going to be.
Hey!
Yay! 2 paws. We're about to see some sharpshooters, brother.
Let's go.
Fuck it. I actually kind of miss Natty. I don't even know why. I don't know why, but I kind of miss Natty.
Right before it seemed like she was gonna go to AEW, it looked like she was really like
cooking
locked
up,
in.
She was doing some good shit in NXT. I don't know if you remember, she had that match with Roxanne that was great. And
she did the thing that all wrestlers should do, where they post clips online of them doing grappling and training and taking it to the ring
instead of doing it in the highlight, but not doing
it. Mustafa Ali.
Come on, man. Yeah. So Natty's probably coming back next week. Okay. The next thing on the show, Rhea Ripley's in a knee brace and had a crutch, but she told Damian Priest it was just a precaution and that she would be fine. Priest spoke to Pierce, but was told that Balor would only face him in a tag match. He didn't have any other friends around here, so he couldn't have a match. The crowd is going yeet, and Rhea Ripley said, no. Tell Pierce the match is on. I have someone I can get. And Priest smirked because he figured out who Rhea was going to call. He was like, oh, you talking to that nigga. So, yeah, after this, it was time for CM Punk. He came out. And bottom line was he was happy to be in Denver. He couldn't wait to get home to his wife and his dog in Chicago, but he had to make a pit stop in Denver to celebrate with the fans. The strap match was hell and one of the toughest matches he's had. And he said he meant what he said. It's good to be alive in Denver. It was good to be on the other side of a personal issue, but now it was time to get down to business. And he said, because I'm a business man, which is a Jay-Z lyric from Diamonds from Sierra Leone, where he said, I'm not a business man. I'm a business man. Get out of my business. Damn. So Punk's been listening to some Kanye. Interesting.
He think he get on my good side.
Punk's been bumping Kanye. And Punk said, I said it before, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. And he said, I take it in cash, direct deposit, or like Patrick Roy in 1996, I take it in gold. Because Punk is a maniac, so he has to reference hockey everywhere he goes. So there you go. Punk spoke about Gunther, who put over Randy Orton. Oh no, sorry, God, I'm getting distracted. My apologies, my DMs are blowing up. But Punk spoke about Gunther, who put Randy Orton, one of the best to ever do it, through hell. Nothing could replace the chip on Punk's shoulder other than the world title. It was time for Punk to wake up as a champion. The crowd chanted for CM Punk. Punk congratulated Gunther and told him to enjoy it. He said, we're going to enjoy taking it off of you. Punk added, the goal is gold. The target is Gunther. And Punk told Gunther to get used to hearing cult of personality. So Punk wants Gunther. He wants to become a champion. Punk is on the announce table. They hit his music. He's celebrating. Everything's all happy and festive. And then, boom, he gets yanked off the announce table the same way Drew McIntyre got yanked off at Mania when he was celebrating. And Drew's in a hoodie. And Tessitore's like, that's Drew McIntyre in a hoodie. And so Drew's kicking his ass. He's beating the living shit out of him. Claymore's Punk right across the announce table. He throws him in the ring. Claymore's him again. He's beating the shit out of him. He takes the bracelet back. Drew has the bracelet. Oh my God, what's he going to do? He breaks the bracelet, and then he takes the beads of the bracelet and shoves it down Punk's throat, and then Claymore's him again. And so at that point, all the security gets in. They're wheeling Punk out of the venue, and then Drew McIntyre reemerges to punch Punk and hit him in the throat and choke him. And in kayfabe, like obviously, like that's not what's actually happening, but we're to believe that the beads are in his throat as Drew's choking him. So Punk starts to bleed and gag. Punk is bleeding from the mouth. He's coughing up blood, and Drew is choking him and beating his ass. And there you go. Drew McIntyre has destroyed the bracelet. It's gone. It's done. Punk has been assaulted and destroyed. And even though he wanted to move on, Drew would not allow him to because he's going to drag him to hell. I thought this was a strong angle, and I'm looking forward to their Hell in a Cell match. What did you think, Rob?
I thought that this was a really good angle. I thought CM Punk sold the beatdown really well. That Drew gave him, and I think that my most improved character, at least for this year, my most improved character would be Drew McIntyre, in the sense that you genuinely believe that Drew McIntyre is going insane and crashing out every time he's in one of these segments with CM Punk, where it just gets mad violent and he starts making him bleed, like the one they did in Chicago, where Punk is just like, I'm so happy to be back, and I fucking screwed you, McIntyre. He deserved it. And all of a sudden, we see the garage door opens, and we see fucking Punk bleeding from the mouth, and he's beat the shit out of him. So I feel like the angles that they've been doing with this feud, I would definitely be able to now comfortably call this like the feud of the year, simply for the fact of the stuff that they've been doing within the feud and the way Punk is just so willing to get beat up. And he's just like, yo, bro, like it would make more sense for you here to beat me up here, and then we go here. So I think this was a really well done angle.
Yeah.
And shout out to Punk for having like, for what's the word, for basically being like selfless in this situation and being like, yo, you can beat me up as much as you want. It makes sense in the story. Because usually a lot of niggas in his position would be selfish, even though I don't like the nigga. So
Yeah, thought it was an awesome angle. Give us your thoughts. Give us your feedback. Again, Punk has been on a roll, in my opinion, after like, you remember those like 2 weeks? Like, remember that stretch like in the middle of the build of the previous match where like the segments were not hitting and the promos were kind of ass? Like that was kind of spooky, but I think he's been back on track the last 2-3 weeks. So
yeah,
happy for that. Good angle, really good angle. After this, Rob, it was time to get funky like a monkey because it was Ilya Dragunov, Dragon Lee, and Dominic Mysterio. This opened up with the good guys beating up on Dom and kicking his ass. Dragon Lee was in the ring. And he was about to do like a move off the top rope, and Carlito's dumbass is yanking him off and fucking with him. It's like, oh my god, why is Carlito here, right? Why is it that like Carlito is like this ghost that haunts Dragon Lee's life, you know? But he won't stop fucking with Dragon Lee. And then what's it called? Damian Priest comes out to even the odds. He beats up Carlito. He chases Dominic completely out of the venue, which was hilarious. And that allowed Rob an ISO clear out between Dragon Lee and Ilya Dragunov.
yep,
They got the last like 5-6 minutes of this match to just kind of do their thing. And they indeed did their thing. It was an unfortunate Dragon Bomb botch, but besides that, this is chops, this is kicks, this is enzuigiris, this is German suplexes, this is everything in between. And so this was a ton of fun just seeing them do their thing. And the crowd chanted, "This is awesome." And they were lighting it up out there. And it was really, really cool and really sick to see. And ultimately, Ilya Dragunov got the pin after high knee, super kick. But then he bounces right back with a Torpedo Moscow. And Ilya Dragunov will be advancing to the finals of this tournament. What did you think of this?
this was great. I thought everybody in this match did well, including Dom. And I'm not saying he like I said, he's not improving a whole lot, like tremendously or greatly anything in ring wise, but Dom really has been able lately to keep up with the other guys that are better than him in the ring as of late. And this match really proved it. The ISO we got between Dragon Lee and Ilya was tremendous. Like you said, there was a Dragon Bomb botch, but even with the Dragon Bomb botch, it was just like I think that added to it. It added to the sense of like of the exhaustion from them beating the shit out of each other. So I think it was I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I was a big fan. After this was the segment where Braun Strowman basically fights to get in the match because we got the recap of what happened with him and Bronson Reed, and he's going to have the heavily taped ribs, but he's entering this match. Really disappointing that Bronson Reed wasn't in this because Bronson Reed has become one of those highlights of Raw, so I was looking forward to seeing him advance. But now it is Braun Strowman. So women's tag title contender match, Sky Pirates versus Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. Basically, once again, like it is every week, Rob, it was the Io Sky show. She looked awesome. She was so charismatic. The fans were super into her. Kyrie's doing her thing. The big thing here was Kyrie went for an elbow to the outside, and I don't know what the fuck happened here, but nobody caught her, and she hits face first on the announce table, and it splits. It just like opens her eye, and she's bleeding from the eye. And while she's incapacitated there, Io is getting double teamed by Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And this resulted in one of her rare losses on TV. Io doesn't lose that much on TV, and she got pinned here. Like when Io rarely gets pinned, so Fire and Dawn get the win. But then the Sky Pirates are back in the ring with Jade and Bianca, and they're just kind of talking shit. And Kyrie's all fired up, and she's bleeding in the face. And so, I don't know if this is the planned finish. I don't know what the hell is supposed to happen here. But what I do know is, regardless of who won the match, it's very clear with the way how WWE's booking it that that the big match is still Sky Pirates and Jade and Bianca. So there you go. I thought the match was going very well until the Kyrie spot, and then it was just kind of whatever. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought this was really well done. The thing about the Kyrie spot is it didn't even like need to be done the way that it was done. Bianca was already in position to catch Kyrie. Isla didn't have to put, especially since Kyrie was overshooting anyway. And she didn't really need to pull her out of the way. But like this is a part of what I'm talking about, because it's like, and I know I'm not blaming this on Jade at all. I'm saying they should have put her in the position. They should have been trained her and put her in a position where when she sees shit like that happen, she should have went into both of them. There's no way she should have went into just one of them, because that was a bad spot to do in that position anyway, because of the announce table. But other than the spot, this is fine. So yeah.
There you go. Brian Alvarez reports there has not been a press release or anything like that, but I've been told that Odyssey Jones is fired. Apparently no arrest at this point, but I was told he's fired. That's it for Odyssey Jones. So there you go. He's gone.
Yeah.
Next we had I lost my place. But basically, here it is. Kofi Kingston met with Adam Pearce, and he noted that Judgment, they haven't defended the tag titles in 2 months, and that he had a proposition involving him and Woods. Gunther appeared, and he and Kingston gave each other a look before Gunther walked off. Hour 3. Damian Priest asked Rhea Ripley for an update on his potential partner, and Priest asked if he said yes, and Rhea Ripley said no. He said yeet. So Priest was pleased and still wanted to talk to him first. It was time for Gunther, Rob. He entered, and it was so funny. He said, he was like, Baszler Berlin was the biggest arena gate in WWE history. All thanks to me. And I was like, hell yeah. So he credited himself for the gate. And he said he beat the greatest version of Randy Orton, and the great weekend was just another chapter in his legacy. Sami Zayn interrupted, and he entered to a big reaction. What's it called? So, yeah, Sami Zayn comes out. This was the most over, in my opinion, Rob, this is the most over Sami was to me in a long time. Like, he was over as fuck here.
Yeah.
And Sami said that people talk about the Intercontinental title as the great workhorse title. What people often don't talk about is that the true greats, Randy Savage, Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and his hero, Bret the Hitman Hart, all won the IC title before going on to win the world title. And that's exactly what Gunther did. And now that's exactly what I'm going to do. Gunther is making that like really smug dickhead smirk at this point. Zayn said he wanted the one title that eluded him his entire career. He wanted the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther said Sami was right. Gunther said Gunther and all those men stepped up and won the world title. He said, but Zayn stepped down. Zayn was not on that list of all great men, and that's why the people liked him. He said when Zayn was knocked down, he picks himself back up and he returns to the ring. And Gunther said he was impressed with Zayn challenging him, and he saw the fire in his eyes. He told Zayn that if he really wanted this more than anything else, the answer is no.
No. No.
No. And he's walking off, and Gunther's like smirk and laugh is so good. Like he just like walks off, and it's not like over the top, like it's just kind of like
he's like yo, he genuinely is like the fuck.
Yeah, bro. He's just a smug asshole. And so he's walking away like smirking. And then his music plays, and Sami's like, no, cut the music, hold on. And he said Zayn wondered why Gunther was finally backing down from a fight. And Zayn said that Gunther knew full well that he was the only person to beat him in WWE. He said, I'm coming for you, and I will be a world heavyweight champion. Oh, when he pointed out that he beat him, Gunther, who was walking away smiling, he turned back at Sami and looked at him. And Sami said, oh, I got your attention now, huh? And
no, you should have seen it. You should have seen it. They were pointing the camera at him, and he was like, ha, ha, ha. And then he said he beat him. He was like, whoa.
It was really good because he has this smirk, he stops. He's listening to Sami, but he won't look at him, and he's just kind of making his face like, "What do you have to say to me?" And then Sami's like, "Yeah, I fucking beat you." And then Gunther's kind of his face changes to like, "All right," and he turns back at Sami and looks at him, and you could tell he like, and because like again, he got his attention, and then he turns back and walks away again. But his energy is totally changed. So Gunther knows what he has to do here. He's gonna have to avenge the loss on Sami Zayn. I thought the segment was great.
This will be and it was great. And I expect this to be better than the WrestleMania match. It's simply from the position and I feel like this time around, Gunther's obviously like gonna get his win back this time around, but I feel like this time around, I think I feel like they should do it in a way as Sami's not really an underdog because we've seen him beat him before. I think he should be kind of even, but not that even on the same level as him. So we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see.
The Jey Uso and Damian Priest match versus Finn Balor and JD was made official for tonight. Jackie Redmond was interviewing Jey Uso. Jey was in the midst of cutting his usual promo and Bron Breakker interrupted, and this was really good.
Yeah.
Breakker walked in and he was just like, Jey Uso, yeet. He does the yeet with Jey, like, like mockingly, and he looks at him and he goes like I said last week, no member of your family has ever beaten a member of my family. And Jey, sorry. He iterated that, and then he goes like, I'm gonna give you this one chance. Walk away. Leave the tournament. Exit. Quit. Go have fun with the yeet. Go play with mommy. Go chase mommy. Have your fun. But stay away from this. You don't want this. You know? And Jey takes oh no, oh my God, here it is, the line. He goes, go after Dom's sloppy seconds. Go do that. You know? And he said, if you go for my title, you're gonna lose. And then Jey takes the shades off and he goes, hey, thanks for the advice, rookie. And he said, now that I have your attention, I'm gonna win this title. I'm gonna win the tournament. I'm gonna win the title, and I'm gonna beat your ass. And then Braun is like looking at him, and it was very tense. It was a good scene. It was a good moment there. So Jey Uso, once again, when he's not, being a clown, a compelling TV character. So good interaction there. My only issue, and I think I said this on Twitter, my only issue is it made it obvious he's winning the tournament.
Yeah.
But there you go. IC title tournament, three-way Braun Strowman, Ludwig Kaiser, and Sheamus. Not much. This is pretty short, but basically Braun flies through the barricade. Sheamus is dealing with Kaiser. And ultimately, when Sheamus has the upper hand, Pete Dunne comes in with the shillelagh, and he lays these shots in. He destroys.
Yo, did you see the welt on Shane's back? Oh, Sheamus's. Let me find it.
He whacked the fuck out of this dude in the back. I was like, God damn. Laid that shit in crazy. But he takes out Sheamus with the shillelagh. And this leaves Kaiser, who thinks he's going to get the win, but Braun Strowman gets in and power slams him. So Braun Strowman, even with the rib injuries, is back and he won. He's going to the finals. My presumption, Rob, is that Bronson Reed will return next week and neutralize Braun Strowman, and they'll brawl away from this, all this stuff.
Yeah, because it shouldn't take people that too long to recover from COVID now, right?
I don't think so. I think if Reed gets cleared, my prediction is in that match, Strowman will get weeded out by Reed, and they're gonna fight off somewhere else. We're gonna get the rest of the match, and then we'll probably cut back to Strowman and Reed. And they're gonna have another backstage fight, I think.
And I think that should lead into a stip match.
Yeah, 100%.
If you want to do it at Bad Blood, do an ambulance or something. Do that.
That'd be so sick. That'd be so sick.
Bro, him putting Braun through the fucking ambulance with the tsunami off a stage, that would be so sad.
Yeah, I'm locked in. Priest and Jey, they basically squashed their beef backstage. Jackie Redmond talked to Pete Dunne, and then Pete Dunne was kind of cutting a promo on Sheamus. He said he was going to go off to NXT to smack Trick Williams. And then Redmond said, wait, so I tell him it's from Butch? Because and he gets so mad, and he comes back, and he's like, don't call me Butch. So there you go there. Main event time. Damian Priest and Jey Uso versus Finn Balor and JD McDonough. 15-minute match, non-title. And this was hilariously heated, Rob. They were so into these guys. Damian Priest comes in, and he's fucking Undertaker in there, just kicking ass. Jey Uso's in there. It's a yeet party. And that's pretty much the story of this match. This was a fun house show style match where the baby faces were so fucking over, and it was like Pop City. It's like the Attitude Era in this main event, because they're in every guy coming in, and then you get the big run in later on. This is my brutality. Rhea Ripley comes out, and again, it's literally just a pop fest, and we end the show with Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, and Jey Uso standing tall after the baby faces get the win, and they're celebrating and high fiving and eating. So that's your ending to Raw. I think that this Rhea Ripley knee injury, I'm curious, like, if it's because they're going to prolong her match with Liv Morgan. Because, again, Bad Blood is 5 matches. Or, like, well, presumably 5 matches, so how are you going to do that? But nevertheless, this is a fun ending to a fun show. Yeah, WWE right now is just in that groove where, like, they're just hot, so, like, everyone's over except Karrion Kross. We realized this on Sunday when Joe Hendry and Ethan Page have like Rock Austin heat. Like, I was so in awe, Rob. I'm watching that main event, and I'm like this shit is so.
Bro, he was doing like simple shit, and they were like, yeah,
they
and
were
like,
losing their fucking minds. But again, like I said, when your company is hot, that's when you actually should push as many people as possible, because the fans are going to be more receptive to just enjoying everything. So you might as well get more people over in the process. It's why now Bronson Reed is over, because people like to see the tsunami. So my point is, you can kind of do no wrong when the fans are that much with you. And so they're capitalizing on it. And the main event was super hot. And again, everybody's over right now except Karrion Kross. So good for them. And I enjoyed the show.
definitely. And a great main event, and hopefully this leads to some shit going into Bad Blood. I don't think Rhea does anything in Bad Blood, to be quite honest. I think they push that shit till at least survive, if not Survivor Series. I hope they don't push that shit till Mania.
There's no way you bring it to Mania. You could bring it to Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to stop like saving everything for War Games for Survivor Series. You could end the Survivor Series.
Yeah, I agree.
Make it a big
I wouldn't mind just one War Games match this year, to be honest.
Do one War Games and then do elimination matches. The rest
I wouldn't mind. So, yeah, good show. And for next week, we have the 8-man street fight between American Made and the Wyatt Six. That should be really fun. We have a 4-way contender match for the IC title. This will be, what was it? This is Braun Strowman. This is Pete Dunne. This is Ilya Dragunov, and it is Jey Uso. So I'd imagine Jey Uso gets the win here, and I'd imagine Braun Strowman has to deal with Bronson Reed, and you kind of go from there. Sheamus is probably going to deal with fucking Pete Dunne. So everybody has their own little directions to go in, and women's tag title match also set. We're probably going to get the return of Natty in a women's 6-person match. I would expect some type of tag qualifier either announced on that show or on that show itself. And that'll be the match where you'll probably see like the New Day and LWO and whatever other team they could find on the Raw tag division. Maybe I guess Authors of Pain. So there you go. Good show. And with that, Rob, let's take it away with the remaining super chats, guys. This is your chance to get your last super chats in with any questions you may have, or any just opinions you'd like to give us.
Damian Manuel Michael, $2. Bracelet caught and compromised to a permanent end.
Yep, right in time for Hell in a Cell.
Definitely. Oh my god. Because if I had to see bracelet discourse.
No, and you know it's perfect, Rob? All the little things that were kind of taking away from the Punk Drew hatred, like the bracelet, the tapping the corners, the Seth Rollins, none of that will be in the way this time. It's just Punk and Drew in a cage. That's all it is. There's nothing in the way.
Exactly what we need. That's exactly
nothing in the way. Because before it was like, oh, we might get some allure with the bracelet. Oh, we might get some this. We might get no. This time, nothing is standing in the way of these two guys mauling each other. And it's why I'm very comfortable and confident in saying this will be their best match. This will be the best CM Punk match since the Samoa Joe match. And I think it'll be one of the best WWE matches of the year.
Yeah, and I think this has been comfortably locked in for feud of the year. So thank you for the super chat. Matt Hennessy, €249. Sami Zayn is the best babyface in pro wrestling.
I'd have to think about it, but he's one of the best for sure. He's great.
He's definitely one of them. I'd have
But one of my other favorite babyfaces in wrestling, Rob, looks like he's coming back soon, and that's my boy Bandito.
Yes,
working towards getting cleared, which is very random, but I just wanted to bring that up because he's one of the best babyfaces on the planet.
oh my god, I can't wait for him to come back. He's so good.
Yep.
Thank you for the super chat, Jumanji Hunter, $2. Dunn should have bitter ended Jackie for that. Yo, guys, come on. Yo, it did look like he was mad. He was mad pissed when she said that. He
should have did something really evil, like obviously can't hit her, but like berated her or something. Like I don't know.
Listen, don't ever call me that name again, you slag.
I was just about to say slag. Like get it right, you slag. It's like, oh shit.
My name is Pete Dunne. It's not Butch.
It's Pete Dunne, bitch. You know, whatever. I don't know.
Thank you for the super chat. And it's seemingly the last super chat. Jumanji Hunter, $2. Judgment Day is ridiculously weak.
I gotta be honest. I don't feel
like Judgment Day is weak. I feel like they're getting what they deserve.
Plus, it's like the lower level niggas that get pinned, bro. It's always JD and Dom. Like that's not, you know.
Yeah,
if Finn Balor's out here getting like pinned and punked, I'd be like, that's a problem. But it's not.
Yeah, so I don't see it as an issue. It's basic comeuppance storylines.
Yeah. If Finn was getting pinned a lot, then yes.
And that is it. That is the last super chat.
All right, I'll give you guys 2 minutes to try to get any additional ones in while we're doing this. Yeah, I guess following that, I'll kind of project here. For this week's SmackDown, Cody Rhodes is expected to call out Solo Sikoa or answer Solo's challenge. Dave Meltzer, Rob, is saying that this match won't be at Bad Blood. And listen, man, Dave is on and off this year. I need Dave to be on point with this one. Please tell me, Dave. Hopefully Triple H directly told him that one, and it's not a Bad Blood match, because brother, if I got to deal with Cody Rhodes on another premium live event, air quotations, fighting another fucking Bloodline match, I'm gonna claw my eyes out. So fuck that. Please let it be Kevin Owens. You know what I wouldn't mind on a PLE though, Rob?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's run back Cody and Roman at Saudi.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I wouldn't be opposed to Saudi. I would not be opposed to them doing that in Saudi, especially since Saudi gets all the big matches because they pay the big bucks. So
it's also why Saudi are they're the only place that gets more than like 5 matches. They get 7 on those shows because them niggas.
Bro, everybody thought they were gonna wait to do Brock versus Roman till WrestleMania. They were like, no, Crown Jewel.
Some niggas said not give us that shit. Has any super chats built up?
No, that's it.
All right, well then, for Rob, I am Ibu of Wrestle Purist, guys. Thank you so much for supporting the video. Appreciate all the feedback. Appreciate all the support, and we'll see you next week.
Also, really quick before we get out of here, I dropped my links to my Twitch and my YouTube. We got about 100 subscribers in a day. So let's try to run that up. Y'all go follow.
Rob, post the link in the live chat before we get out of here.
All right, I got y'all. I'm putting in the live chat right now. The links are it's at Sir Paragraph with an I, not just SR. So hold on.
Yeah, post that shit. While Rob's posting it again, guys, thank you so much for supporting NXT tonight. We'll see what happens. They'll probably put together. We'll have a better idea for the first Chicago show after tonight's show, because we'll know who Axiom and Fraser are going to face in Chicago. And we will also have a pretty good idea who Ethan Page will be defending his championship against. So we'll have those answers, and hopefully Julia is on the show tonight. And going beyond that, I mean, this week's Dynamite looks exciting. And again, we'll see you guys next week.
And I'm dropping them right now. Go check the comment section. We will see you guys next week.
Take care.